What's up, you guys? It is Monica. Welcome. If you are new, welcome back. If you have been here, and so today's episode, I feel like I sound really crackly. Excuse my voice. Today's episode is another episode of Craft and Tale, and so I actually bulk purchased these matte skinny plastic tumblers. I just really think they're cute, and so yeah, I bought a bunch. And so if you're actually interested in me like offering these, let me know. They probably be like another like $5-6 item. I don't know how much the other girls are selling them for, but y'all know I don't be here to price gouge y'all because that is not my game. You know, there's enough out here for all of us to get it. So we gonna get it. And so I had actually brought that little squeeze bottle and I'm like, boom, triple ombre. That's where I'm at. And so 3 different colors. This is Dirty Sprite. The girls that get it, get it. If you don't, you weren't on the club scene. This is amethyst, and that is like just like a pretty light purple. And these are all transparent rhinestones. And this last one is called Mean Girls, and it is a transparent pink that you can pick up over on our website, period6glitter.com. And we also have the rhinestone picker tools, also available over on period6glitter.com. And so to get this started off, I'm going to just wipe this down with alcohol because that's just what I do. You can paint these with like acrylic paint or spray paint. I don't suggest a spray paint because if you get the spray paint in the wrong place, you can't take acetone to plastic because it'll melt it. So just clean it with alcohol, and if you're going to paint it, just use like a paintbrush and acrylic paint. And so, is this moving too fast? Oh, I hope this ain't moving too fast, girl. This is jumping. We're gonna see when we save it. Anyways, and so y'all see I had bought that little needle tip bottle. Girl, that wasn't working. I lasted about 4 rhinestones and I'm like, all right, I'm going back to what I know and I'm using the whole bottle. So now I gotta drain the little bottle with the glue in it to get it back in the big bottle. But I'll do that one day eventually. And y'all are probably like, girl, where have you been? Like, what is going on, y'all? I'm not even gonna lie. I am still tired from Thanksgiving. Like, I had to, between Thanksgiving Thursday and Thanksgiving Monday, I had to make 4 trips to the airport, and I live roughly 50 miles from the airport. So being in my car 2 hours to pick up and drop off people, then Black Friday. And thank you so much to everyone who supported us Black Friday weekend, whether it was the day before sale that we had or any of the sales we had throughout the weekend and Cyber Monday. If you're not, you definitely need to get on our email list. So just go to period6glitter.com and sign up for our email list. That is how we send out all our promotions and all of that. And yeah, I'm exhausted. And y'all know the weekend before that, like Monday is when I came back into town before Thanksgiving. So I'm tired, y'all. Like, I know y'all feel me. Y'all gotta feel me. But yeah, so let's get to the story because this is what y'all came for. And so I'm just going to be doing the honeycomb method on this tumbler. If you don't know what I'm doing or you need actual instruction, this is not the type of video, but I will leave a link below to me actually doing like instructional. But if you just want to watch for aesthetic reasons, go ahead and do that and I'll tell you a story. And so pretty much, hi, if you're new, I'm Monica. I am a very normal girl who very weird things happen to. And now I created this series to tell you guys about it. And so I just finished up my anchor line. I do just want to note that really quickly. Once you get your anchor line on there good, let it dry. So I actually waited till the next day, but I would say at least wait an hour so that you can ensure that all your lines going around the cup are straight. And so that's just a little recommendation in my humble opinion that is very important when you're blinging cups. So this story is actually about Cuba. And so this is nothing against Cuba. Anything I say is literally a personal experience that happened to me and my husband, and we had a great time. So if you are Cuban or feel a connection to Cuba, like I said, this is just what happened to us. No shade. We loved it. So in August of 2019, me and my husband decided to go to Cuba because we seen other people going and they were like, oh my goodness, Trump's going to close the border again. We'll never be able to go to Cuba. We just got back in. We're not celebrities and we won't be able to go. So let's go. And so we were like, cool, boom. And, you know, of course, Cuba is a communist country that has an embargo with our country. And so Cuba is essentially off the grid for Americans. You cannot use your cell phone. You cannot use your credit cards. You're off the grid. It's not like going to Europe where you don't miss a beat. And so, but we were so happy to go. I tried to prepare in advance, like I told my family, like, all right, we can do like WhatsApp and you even have to pay for Wi-Fi, y'all. Wi-Fi is $3 an hour, and you have to have the little card. And if you go to like the technology store, people are queue up for hours trying to buy these little cards so they can get on the internet. And like, you're ever like riding around Cuba and you see a bunch of people standing in one spot, it's probably because that's a Wi-Fi hotspot. Because Wi-Fi isn't just like, you can't just like get it in your house like we do. But again, you're off the grid. We're cool with that. We're here to have a good time, enjoy the culture, enjoy the people, learn some things, see how other people live, because that's what vacation is all about, right? All right, cool. So, boom. Flight to Dallas, late. Get to Dallas, missed our flight. So, we're like, oh, joy. So, when we finally get to Cuba, we're trying to get out of the airport. And we're leaving the airport, and I know that we have to get cash because we can't use our cards. And so I read online that the airport is the only place where you can, well, not the only place, but like it's the best place to exchange your money. So I had gotten cash while I was still back in the States, and I was going to change it for, it's called CUC, and they also have another currency, but CUC is the most popular one. And so exchange in the airport. And so as we're coming down the escalator in the unair conditioned airport, somebody sitting on a stool is like, you need money exchange? Here, go to ATM. And I'm like, wait, what? Y'all, why there's people in the airport like doing their own money exchange? I'm like, actually, I would just like to use the real ATM, if you don't mind, that's ran by the government. Thank you. He's like, oh no, you good. I'm like, all right, cool. And so as soon as I come out the ATM, he's like, do y'all need a ride? Where y'all going? How y'all getting? Where you going? And like, of course, this is Cuba. There's nothing like, there's not a lot you can book in advance. Like, we had to book a lot of stuff via like Airbnb experiences. And like the guy who we did one experience that we were with, he was like, yeah, this stuff is like, to tell y'all the truth, just straight up illegal. But I'm telling y'all about that in a minute. And so he hooked us up with his homeboy who rides us in his personal vehicle to our Airbnb. I had everything written down on paper because I've been trying my damnedest to learn Spanish to no avail, y'all. And so we're in this guy's like 1970 hatchback. Our suitcases barely fit, no air conditioning. It's Cuba in August, aka hot as hell, riding in the car, right? And I'm like, Lord, please don't let this man be trying to kidnap and traffic us. But I said, is they even trafficking in Cuba? I feel like Cuba is a transit company, and I don't know. So finally, we pull up to the address that I had written on the paper for the man. I said, that's not it. He was like, yeah, this is you, like in very broken English. He didn't really speak much English. Like, we didn't talk during the ride or anything. And so I said, because y'all, when I looked up at the building, when I tell you projects, I said, no, ma'am, no, sir. This is not what I booked. Not 4-star Monica. I'm not going in here. There's a gate on the door. This is the hood, baby. I ain't going up in that thing. He was like, no, this is your address. And so as I'm telling the man, like, ain't no way this is it. I can't pull out my phone. I can't call nobody because, those things aren't working. So like a man that's sitting on the steps with like a ring of keys comes up to us and be like, you checking in? I said, and who are you? Y'all, they have like he's essentially like the building superintendent. He the super. And so I'm like, yeah. He was like, oh no, come on, your lady's upstairs waiting on you. We thought you wasn't coming. I said, yo, where am I? We walk into the building. You gotta like use a key to get into and out of the stairwell. Everyone's front door got a gate on it. The front door, we going into the apartment that we rented via Airbnb, because Americans aren't supposed to stay at hotels because they can't even run our credit card. So you're pretty much stuck staying in Airbnb if you're American and you go to Cuba. Y'all, finally, I'm like, oh my goodness. Me and my husband are looking at each other like, ain't no lights on in the hallway. Like, they're dark, they're scary. I said, yo, I want to go home. I've never been this scared in my damn life. We're gonna die. And so we walk in, and there's a very nice lady who we rented the Airbnb from. The Airbnb had cameras, like on the outside, if not on the inside, of course. And it's brand new. They had remodeled it. So I can tell you all about that if you like care, like how these Cuban people are able to do this. But essentially, they got family in Miami that go to IKEA and buy stuff and renovate these apartments and put them up on Airbnb. Boom, there you go. And so, okay, we're cool. We feel better. We're secure. And so we're like, all right, cool. Like, the building look ghetto, but our apartment's really nice. It has air conditioning and we have access to Wi-Fi. Cool. And so we were like, oh, like let's go out and walk. That's something me and my husband like to do as soon as we get to a new place. We like to just go out and walk and like feel the vibes and see like what's going on. And so we're walking outside, and it's a thing called the Melicone, which is like the waterfront that we stay right across from it. So as we're walking down, like a guy comes to my husband. My husband has dreadlocks. He's like, oh my goodness, man, I love your hair. Like, like I love seeing like Black American people with, their hair like that. And we're like, oh, cool, that's what's up. He was like, y'all, I can tell y'all American. Like, y'all need cigars. Y'all getting cigars while you down here. This is what, this is what we do. We're like, oh yeah, we're definitely interested in cigars. He's like, okay, cool. There's a cigar festival. And so we're like, a cigar festival? I looked at my husband. I said, I didn't see nothing about that online, because I am a super researcher and itinerary planner. I said, I didn't see nothing about that online. And so he's like, oh yeah, there's a cigar festival. I can take you to it. And I'm like, here we go. I'm like, just tell me where it is. Like, I'll try to look it up and we'll just go. He's like, oh no, today's the last day. Like, y'all came on the last day. If you want to go, we got to go now. We're like, oh, what's the worst that could happen to us in Cuba? Let's go. So this guy hails down the taxi. And so he's talking to the taxi driver, and we thinking he's going to just tell the taxi driver where to take us. Y'all, this man climbs in the taxi with us. So we driving for about 10 minutes. We get out and we're in a neighborhood. We're like, where are we going? He was like, oh, we're going over here. I said, this don't look like a festival. This man proceeds to take us to a house that is behind another house. And we walk into the living room, and there's people in there. There's like 6 families in there, like living. And apparently they sell cigars. And so I walk in. My husband walks in first, of course. And so I walk in and I hold the front door open. Because, like, bitch, ain't no ambush about to go down on me. And he's like, oh, no, you got to step in. I said, absolutely not. Like, bro, I'm from the city. Like, you can't try me. I said, I'm holding this door open. I said, what is going on? Because we not from here, and this is some BS. Like, I know I'm not letting this door close. He was like, well, you got to let the door close. I was like, I'm not fixing to get ambushed. So me and my husband step outside. We was like, yo, you was on that BS, and you tried to play us. Like, you was going to sell us bootleg cigars. Like, you full of it. And so that's how Cuba started. And so somebody tried to scheme us, sell us fake cigars, take us to a fucking ambush. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but we got up out of there. And tell me why we ended up seeing this man every single day when we were walking around, because he hangs out in our neighborhood trying to scam Americans. Anyways, if you ever run into Michael in Cuba, watch out for him. That's what he told us his name was. He might change his name every season. I don't know. And so that was that. And so essentially that was how I don't want to say that's how our trip went, but there's so many people in Cuba trying to scheme and scam. For example, I had wore some gold leggings, but I'm admittedly a sweater. Come on, ladies, we can talk about this. I sweat down below. And so my gold had turned into brown because I was sweating so much because it was so hot and so humid. So my husband's like, oh, you need to go back and change, because I normally wear all black. So if I sweat, you can't really see it. And so I'm like, yeah, I need to go change, like clean up, and I need to change. And so we hail a taxi. And so we're like, we're literally 2 miles from down to Melicon. Like, we didn't go down far. And we're like, hey, like, how long until how much is it to just go down here to our apartment? And the guy's like, oh, it's $10. We're like, okay, cool, boom. Like, cause I'm not walking past all these people with a damn big sweat spot on my lady parts. And so I don't have no choice but to get in the cab. So we pull up to the apartment. He's like, all right, it's 20. We said, excuse me? He was like, yeah, it's 10 apiece. I said, we rode in one car, sir. And again, my husband, he don't play that scamming stuff. He was like, he threw that $10 at this man and was like, here you go, because you told us 10, you're getting 10, but you tried it. And my husband was like, y'all need to stop trying to scam people. And so we finally, like, I had booked like a lot of private tours too with like a tour guide. So this didn't always keep happening to us. And so the tour guide told us straight up, he was like, people know y'all are American because y'all have on Nike. And when I tell you, me and my husband, we be Nike'd down. Like, baby, I have 30 days worth of Nike I can wear down to my socks. Bras, socks. I can wear Nike 30 days straight and not repeat. He was like, because y'all are wearing all of that Nike. He was like, Nike is not available in Cuba. If you see somebody with Nike, it's either fake or they have a family member who lives in the States that was able to get it for them. I said, oh. Next time we need to wear Adidas. And so another story is that we went on a bike tour. Don't recommend if you out of shape like my ass. We went on a bike tour, right? And so the guy was like, yeah, these bike tours is illegal. We're not allowed to be running businesses. Like, the state assigns you what your career is. He was like, but you don't, we only make $30 a month. So this is an easy way to make money from like tourists like yourselves. Y'all, why everywhere we went, this man had to break somebody off some cash money? Like, when I tell you mafia, extortion, like, we parked our bikes to go get some food. He had to pay what looked like a homeless man money. I said, oh, they really getting down out here. Like, it goes down. But then we found out nobody can own a gun. And I said, okay, so we would definitely win in a fight if it came down like the worst you got is a knife. Like, I can shuck and jive around a knife. At least I know you can't blow my brains out, right? So we felt much safer in Cuba after we learned that, like, okay, no one's gonna like hold us hostage with a gun. So the worst that could happen, and you try to like put out a little shawty on us, like a little knife shawty, not like a gun shawty, and you try to like intimidate us, it'll just be a fight. Y'all gonna have to jump us, essentially. But yeah, Cuba, that's just a couple of stories. I realize I've been talking a long time, and the video is almost over, and when I tell you I'm giving y'all the abbreviated versions of a couple of stories, but honestly, we had a very good time. My sister and her wife were also in town, and we were able to like get together. And oh my goodness! And then the rolling blackouts and the outages are also very scary. Especially when you don't know. Like, we were literally sitting at dinner and the lights went out. We were just like, and we were at a restaurant that was next to a club, so people were like out on the sidewalk trying to get in the club. It was an adventure. I loved it. It was so much fun. The drinks are so good. Real Havana Club, not that BS Bacardi Havana Club. The real Havana Club is down there. Like, drinks, if you pay more than $5 for a drink, you overpay. We was down there getting toasted, litty, great time. We had so much fun. It was so amazing, honestly. And, people tried to scam us, but we knew better. We're not dumb Americans. We had a great time. The people were so nice, and like people always ask us like really like poignant questions, and like it's always nice to like have like a real conversation with people, not just one. Like when we went to Ireland, people were like, how do you feel about Donald Trump? And I'm like, sir, we're just here to drink Jim Beam. Knowing Jim Beam is Jim Beam is definitely from Tennessee. I'm talking about we're just here to drink Guinness. And so so it was a really amazing trip. We really had a good time. Cuba, they make it seem like it's like a terrible, poor third world country, which it is a poor third world country. But amazing people, amazing food, and amazing time to be had. You don't need a lot of money to go, and you will really enjoy yourself, actually. So that is a little piece of our Cuba. If you want to know more about it, leave me a comment below. We might do a part 2 because I still need to bling the lid. I forgot to bling the lid, y'all. But if you like these kind of videos, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. We're trying to grow this family, grow this thing. Let's get it popping. Follow us on TikTok. We need TikTok followers at @6glitter. Follow us on Instagram. We finally hit 1,000 followers. We're so thankful, you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. And we will see you guys in the next one.